it again. This goes dead.
Hello, chat room, and welcome to another exciting episode of Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward Reread. Today, we have a very special guest, returning champion, Scoosh. How you doing, Scoosh?
Hello, it's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you back.
Doing good.
I'm on kind of a roll with getting returning guests. We had Gecko on last time we had a guest, and that was wonderful to talk to her again.
Oh, really?
And it's been wonderful getting to talk and play with you some more. So,
yeah, I haven't spoken to Gecko in a while. I hope she's doing well.
yeah, seems that way. But we're not here to worry about that. We're here to worry about Heavensward. Scoosh, do you remember Heavensward?
Heavensward, where do I begin?
I think you begin it after A Realm Reborn.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Today, we are going to be tackling a quest line that asks that exact question of, hey, do you remember Heavensward? It's also worth noting that this quest was introduced in Heavensward, so the likelihood of people remembering what Heavensward is was very high. But it also presents us with a unique opportunity to run around Ishgard and its surrounding areas to talk to characters and see what updated dialogue they have based on where we are in the story right now. Now, unfortunately, I can say this for sure. I know for a fact that we have missed a dialogue because I didn't realize this was going to happen, but Hilda and her boys have some updated dialogue for post-Heavensward stuff. But they also have updated dialogue for post-Firmament completion stuff. And because in between me finding all of the updated dialogue things and now we have finished the Firmament, it means that her dialogue has now updated to reflect the Firmament thing and we can't go back to the old one. Which, unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? You know? It's just how scheduling works out, I guess. But let's go ahead and switch on Ogre to...
Let's get this questing started.
Yippee! Off we go. Alright, so I believe we need to go into House Fortan to do this. And let me also bring up my list here, because I need to remind myself of all of the different places that we are going to be going to. Just to give a quick rundown of all of the things here, all of the places where dialogue has been updated. We have the Gates of Judgment, Camp Dragonhead, the Observatorium, Whitebrim Front, Foundation, like basically all of, Ishgard itself in the city, Falcon's Nest, the Convictory, Camp Cloudtop, the Rose House, Tailfeather, Annex Shrine, and Moghome. These are all of the places that have updated dialogue. So, time to get to work. Let's talk with House Fortant Manservant. The paths we walk. Deep in thought, the House Fortant Manservant reflects upon a day not so very long ago. 'Twas bitterly cold when you first came to our city, when I stood waiting for you before the Ark of the Worthy. To think that was where it all began. How much has changed since that day. Forgive me, of late I have been studying the works of a Beledian poet king who wrote, To ye who ask of things to come, give thought to what is past and gone. So rarely have we the luxury to reflect on the choices we have made, on how they have shaped our lives and the lives of others. Even I, a mere steward whose deeds would not merit a footnote in the annals of history, can see the value in this. I say to you, Mistress Lorelei, because as you move, so too does the world. Pray, spare a moment to contemplate your journey while you can. The road stretched on, obscured by an endless veil of snow. Somewhere in the white beyond stood the great iron gates, and on the other side, a humble manservant who awaited the coming of 3 travelers. I do not regret my choices, nor do I think you should yours. Nevertheless, one cannot help but look back on occasion and wonder. Let's take this opportunity, actually. Hang on a sec. I want to open the actual page for the paths we walk to make sure of something. Okay.
I don't really remember this questline like specifics, but I do remember loving it. So every moment for detail is a good moment of detail.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna start by going around outside the Gates of Judgment and just talking to the people in Square Corthus to get all of the things here. So let's start with Marceline here. Why don't you take him?
Yep. Warrior of warriors, it is ever a pleasure to see you. You are, of course, free to pass through the gates at your leisure. Or is there something you require?
Okay. Let's do this.
My duty is unchanged from when we last spoke, and will doubtless remain so till I draw my last breath. Sir Marceline, Knight of Ishgard and Keeper of the Gates of Judgment, at your service. As our oaths required, we braced our shields and set our spears against the Gervanian onslaught. Though it cost us dearly, I am proud to say that we kept the enemy from entering Ishgard until your victory over Nidhogg broke the Horde's will to fight.
What kind of place is this? Hang on a sec. Let me just make sure this is actually... okay, yeah, this is a different thing.
And you, my friend, have proven yourself worthy thrice over. You may pass through these gates and enter our first city at will. Know though that if you are wicked of heart, the Fury shall send an icy gust to blow you off the steps of faith. 'Tis but a legend, to be sure, but people make an effort to keep their minds free of impious thoughts nonetheless.
Cool. That would have been really helpful during the times where people were, dragons were trying to walk over the bridge and kill everybody. Would have been nice if she had maybe sent some gusts of wind then, but oh well. The light of the Holy Sea has faded, and the worm's shadow darkens our walls no more. Yet while lords and ladies must learn to govern alongside the common folk, our duty to defend Ishgard remains unchanging. Just one little line there. And that is everything for the Gates of Judgment. Onwards to Camp Dragonhead! Yippee!
Onwards!
Most of these are going to be dialogue that has updated specifically after Harshafont's death. There's not really... let's see... Neither of you... you're not on my list. I'm guessing most everybody who is on my list is going to be inside, where it's warm. Let me just double check you, just to be sure. I don't remember if I wrote you down. No, this is new, actually. This is one I don't have written down. Why don't you take this one?
I recall when we first were given the task of reclaiming the Steel Vigil. There were those among us who resented House Halliarnt for placing us in so precarious a position. Lord Harshaphont justified us for judging them so harshly. We are all sons and daughters of Ishgard. Are they not deserving of our loyalty? Of our love? We shall not look upon his like again.
Because he's dead, in case you forgot.
Smile better suits a hero.
He did say that.
He did indeed.
I don't recall a shield being part of Lord Haurchefant's memorial, but when I visited the other day, there it was. Fitting addition, sure to inspire others to carry on in his stead, for the sake of House Fortemps and Camp Dragonhead. Weirdly, I don't think... Yeah, this guy does not have updated dialogue. He doesn't fucking care that Haurchefant's dead. You don't. Nothing for you. You have some new dialogue, I believe.
I hear word that many heretics are choosing to surrender themselves for their crimes. Some may be pardoned, but I expect those who were involved in the summoning of Lady Shiva will be shown little clemency.
Probably not. Alright, and I think the other two that are here I have listed are in the main little area over here. One of them is... Yours is ever a welcome face, friend. If you are weary from your journey, pray rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. What do you do here? As a proud knight pledged to House Fortemps, I shall continue to serve in memory of my dear departed lord. So shall we all. Though he had a peculiar air about him at times, he was beloved of every man, woman, and child in Camp Dragonhead. You have children here? Are you fucking stupid? Never mind, maybe that's just a turn of phrase. His death came as a terrible shock, and for a time many of us knew not how to carry on. But it would not do for us to remain disconsolate. Nay, Lord Haurchefant would want us to look to the future, with hope in our hearts and a smile on our lips. What kind of place is this? I think you should know full well, but Camp Dragonhead is an Ishgardian fortress held by House Fortemps. In honor of our fallen commander, Lord Francel, and some others commissioned the memorial on the cliffs overlooking the city to the north. Though it may not be where Lord Haurchefant was laid to rest, we like to think it offers him a vantage point from where he can watch over the city he so dearly loved. That's also kind of a spoiler for the last part of this quest, in which you need to find a secret place. But don't worry about that. And who is this? Who is the last person we're looking for? Let's see.
You know, the part that guy said about the child, I wonder if it has to do with, like squires or anything like that.
You know, that's probably pretty likely. Do you have anything, actually? Oh, no, this is new. This is another one I didn't actually find.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just in the quieter moments, all the memories come rushing back.
Are you sure you're not just cutting onions? Whatever.
I don't. Yes, maybe. Were Lord Haurchefant still here, he might make some good. He might make some good-natured quip about my tears spoiling the broth. But when I think about things that way, I suppose he'll never really leave us. Not really.
I mean, I had my little quip about onions. Is that not good enough? I guess not. Let me double check up here again. I have the name of the person I'm looking for written down, but I'm not seeing them. We're looking for a Aurel. Let's see. Oh, wait, hang on. Nope, that's somebody else. Might be somebody on the walls, maybe. Oh, there she is. House Hallianart has known few friends as faithful as Lord Haurchefant. Even when the prudent course of action would be to cast us aside, he embraced us as allies. We shall honor his memory and see that the ties between our two houses are never broken. Alright, and that should be everything in Camp Dragonhead. Onwards to the Observatorium. There's one in this area that I'm not actually sure if it's an updated dialogue. It might be a leftover dialogue that we might have already read from post Astro quests. But we will find out. Alright, we're looking for Portalane.
Are they the one in the tower, perhaps?
Yes. Actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Portablane's shit is correctly updated. It's Alberic who actually, oh no, not this guy. Never mind, I'm thinking of somebody else. Further somebody else. Ow. I think it's actually the guy that we talked to initially upon reaching the observatorium, and then Alberic has maybe different dialogue? Yes, here he is.
Well, well. Who should walk through my door but the Wormslayer herself? I must say, I never would have expected from our first meeting that you would go on to rid Ishgard of its most terrible foe. Should you ever require aught of me or the observatorium, pray, do not hesitate to ask.
That would have been nice to have at the start. Hang on, if I talk to this guy, is he mean? The observatorium is under the protection of House Durandare. We have no needs of adventurers or sellswords. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. I killed Nidhogg. Okay, Alberic. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so it's literally just this. Even with Nidhogg slain. Hatred his scattered horde bears towards us is undying. An attack may not come this day or the next, but it will come, and we must be unceasing in our vigilance. It's also possible that that dialogue was there from when we originally killed Nidhogg back at, like, level 57 or so. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, Whitebrim Front. Shocking amount of updated dialogue at Whitebrim Front, of all places.
I suppose the MSQ did have us go hang out there a fair bit.
Mm-hmm. But, like, weirdly... So some of them is, like, post... I think there's, like, 2 that are post-Stone Vigil. And then there's one that's post-Shiva, specifically. But then all of the rest of them are, like... you know, stuff for things you actually do in Heavensward. Which is crazy to me, because I feel like a lot of the time, the updated dialogue most often happens in areas where you return to as part of the MSQ, but you do not fucking go back to Whitebrim Front, like, ever again. It's just interesting that, you know, it takes you back here. The closest we get is Lord Drillmont showing up during the Firmament quests. But that's not even Heavensward. That's Shadowbringers. Okay, let's see. So, hopefully this is starting from, like... Okay, where did I actually start? Anything from you two? No, that's about fishing, and that's about nothing that matters. Let's check in here. Yes, okay.
Oh, there's gonna be so many people in here, aren't there?
This one here, this is the funniest one that is updated. I don't suppose you visited Falcon's Nest, have you? I heard they unveiled a fantastic new relief there during the ceremony. Right before Nidhogg came along, that is. I suppose that's another reason I ought to go visit my little brother over there. He cooks for the garrison, like I do here. Not as well, mind, but he's got potential, I'll grant you that. Funniest piece of dialogue. Just guy in Whitebrim Front is like, yeah, my brother is also the cook at at Falcon's Nest. He's the guy who served you that drink that knocked you out. Remember that? I mean,
oh my,
he wasn't the person who mixed the drink, but like it happened on his watch, you know.
He let you get roofied.
Oh well. Honestly, genuinely happens all the time, unfortunately. You. Hey, buddy.
It was my plan to spit the dreaded worm on the point of my lance, but it seems you have stolen my chance at glory.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
I really don't think that he really had that great of a shot. I don't know, just a gut feeling.
Yeah. I had plans for piercing the defenses, but fie! The vigil was retaken ere I could bend my commander's ear. Must see to restoring the keep, the Fury saved me. That's a post-Stone Vigil one, for sure. And then up here... let's see... Hello, sir.
I bid you welcome to Whiteburn Front, and beg your pardon for the scant comforts we have to offer. Ever are we pressed for resources here.
What do you do here?
If it please you, I am a humble knight sworn to the service of House Durandare, one of the high houses of Ishgard. Under its proud standard, I have fought the dragons in more campaigns than I have fingers to count. Beasts though they may be, their cleverness and cunning are not to be scorned. We must ever be vigilant in our duty. Nidhogg lies slain, aye, but the scattered remnant of his horde are too steeped in savagery to remain cowed for overlong.
It's here's the other unfortunate thing about this. Most of the updated dialogue is the same, except for one thing where they're like, even though Nidhogg's dead, you know, we gotta stay vigilant. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, this is a different thing.
Though said war has ended, we knights of House Durandare continue to garrison these walls and stand ready to lay down our lives for Ishgard.
Cool. Jules Mont? You honor Whitebrim with your presence. On behalf of our garrison, I salute your momentous victory over the dreaded worm. Your deeds have laid the foundation for true change in Ishgard, for a lasting peace. As always, however, there remain a few stone-headed few who persist in clinging to the old ways.
You know, it's very funny.
That the truth.
It's very funny to me that it's one added box of dialogue when the rest of it is very much hatred towards dragons. Still, it's like, oh yeah, it's just, I guess it's Nidhogg's horde, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just his horde.
All right, you sir.
I heard about Snowcloak. What you faced there, I mean. I'm glad you're on our side, Scion.
Have you? Was that the last thing you heard about us? Because we did some other stuff too. Some of it's not true, but you know. You are not on my list. Goodbye, sir. Let's see. Damebert? Sir Emmerich has proven his leadership 1,000 times over. What other commander would have conceived of defending Ishgard by setting one great worm against another? That's true, I suppose. Let's see. I've got... Whoa, it's Firminant! That's crazy. That guy's supposed to be in the firmament. Let's see. Looking for Jean Tremont, Charmine, and Nathalane.
Oh, goes Charmine.
Yes, correct.
Our brave soldiers sallied forth to thin the numbers of the horde before it surged onwards to the city. 'Twas a valiant effort that swamped our Chirurgeons. I always forget how to say that.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
With a legion of burned and bleeding.
That one honestly could have been post Steps of Faith instead of post Final Steps of Faith, but who knows? All of the events just kind of blend together sometimes. Alright.
Which were the other two?
Jean Tremont and Nathalane. Nope.
There's no way onto the walls here, right?
No, I don't believe so. Let's check in here.
Oh, I forgot that there was this little holding cell area.
Yep. Oh yeah, the other thing I did is I went down here to check and see if, like that heretic prisoner is still in here. Yeah, they still got guys in here. You know, another place we could check for updated dialogue is the Skyfire locks, down here. But let's worry about finding, finding these last two peeps. Let me double check and make sure they were not in here. No.
There's
Jean Tremont.
We walked right by him.
Yes, we did.
Is this me?
I can't remember. I'll take him. New heads may have sprouted to oversee the governance of Ishgard, but such revolution hardly matters to the soldiers here. No matter who sits in the golden chair, our days are always the same. Training, followed by a patrol, and then back for more training. Suppose that is true. And then the last guy is... I'm gonna take a wild guess and say maybe up here? Because this is another...
Outside of Stone Vigil?
Yeah, because this is another post-Stone Vigil. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Hello, sir.
Good call. The Stone Vigil returns to Ishgard. Hail, Ruja Lorelei, and bless you for the work you've done today. We'll have the perimeter sealed up, then make the place fit to garrison again. It'll be the jewel of our defenses. You'll see.
I bet. Okay, I'm just gonna teleport. Go to Skyfire Locks real quick.
This area somehow still feels bigger than so many of the other areas in the game.
Yep.
Like,
I 100% agree.
It suffers from the Heavensward problem of a single aetherite, but somehow, even though it's in a central location, it doesn't mean anything.
It's not even really in a central location. It's like a top right location.
It's center-ish.
Yeah. Let's
Center
see.
enough.
Nope, that's not new. Yo, this is new. Lord Stefanian changes the face of battle with his machinists, Lord Oroville charts the unknown, and Lady Laniette has her valiant Rose Knights. They each make incredible contributions to the honor and prosperity of House Hallionart, while the best I can manage is to not perish of frostbite. I don't even know what point in the story would have triggered that. Potentially, like, machinists, like post-machinist questline.
There's so many different job quests in which the characters are basically training up a whole, basically we're reintroducing jobs or teaching jobs to other people to make whole new military units of them. And I kind of wish that we got to see in more different places these units, like the machinist mentioned here. If that makes sense.
I think, I mean, that is kind of the central conceit of the Stormblood Summoner questline. And it's something that I really enjoy about that.
I actually, yeah, that's what got me thinking on it, because I just the other day wrapped up the Stormblood Summoner questline.
Let's see. Oh, this is new, yeah.
Mine honor to hold the fort in Lord Francel's absence. So long as this knight lives and breathes, Skyfire Locks will stand firm against all threats. Conscientious a man as my lord is, he often pays us a visit, as does Lord Amanalane, but they've not for which they need be concerned.
Nice. Okay. Great. I'm glad there was really only those, like, two. Okay. Let's, hang on, let me double check, the quest line again, see... Yeah, I think... Probably what we're gonna do here is, we're gonna do the run-through of Foundation proper. Grab all the stuff in there. Because there's not really a time where we, like, come back to Foundation. So, let's see here. First, Beltardois. Bid you welcome, Slayer of Nidhogg. Ever do the gates of Ishgard stand open to our savior? You do hear? My fellow Temple Knights and I have been charged with defending the Ark of the Worthy. Even when the scaly fiends of the Horde clamored at the gate, we surrendered not one ilm. Many of my comrades perished in that maelstrom of fire and steel. The cost may have been higher had the dragoons not rushed to reinforce our position. I only stand before you now by the grace of the Fury herself. What kind of place is this? Yada yada yada. I would advise caution when traversing certain areas, but given your reputation, I expect you can handle yourself well enough. Nice. Okay. Let's hit, let's go to the broom.
Still would love to see this place actually not
as
be
fucked
left
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sim? Sir?
got all high hopes for. We've all got high hopes for the Firmament. Hilda not least of all. Family champion at the bit of a watch of the district she is.
So, firmament, eh? It's good to see that rebuilding's begun, but we'll see whether this front cell can do right by us lowborn.
Some hours put down the arms and picked up building implements instead. Feels like only yesterday that we were feuding with the nobles and fending all dragons. But times have changed, can't they? Times could change.
It's true.
I wish I was better at accents. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, I have a hard time keeping track of all those things. It was really fun with Gecko, because I got to whip out some of the, like, regional British accents I had been kind of practicing. And we had a very fun discussion about, how characters are... don't have, like, the level of personality that we wish they did. Like, you know how Uni and Xenoblade 3, like, uses a lot of, like, very specific slang?
Yes. I think, yes, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, all of that stuff was added by her voice actor. Like, none of it's in the script. And, like, I wish there were more characters like that in 14, who, like, had, like, obvious character to their voice. Like, I wish Hilda, like, had a recognizable regional British accent and threw in, like, funny Britishisms into her speech, but...
It would be especially nice, given that each and every single part of Eorzea and adjacent regions are based off of different real-life locations.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that even if they all still want to have some form of a British accent, that there's some differentiation. Still surprised that they couldn't get French voice actors or people who could do a convincing French accent for Ishgard, for instance. But that probably stems more from the fact that we were introduced to Ishgard more in A Realm Reborn than Heavensward itself.
Also, I think we have actually missed another dialogue as well, because Meili used to be over here as well, but she has since moved into the Firmament. But Golden should have new stuff. What can I... Well, bugger me if I ain't the saviour of Ishgard. What brings you back here? As for me, I've been tasked with minding shop here, selling provisions crafted over at Featherfall to the residents of the Broom. It ain't a glamorous job. Actually, it's a bloody boring one, but it's honest work and pays fair coin, so you won't see me complaining. That's also different. Missed another one. Oops. Oh well. What are you gonna do? And then, there should be one more down here. Yeah, here he is, Geraldo. Hello, sir.
Hello, Governor. Outstern has gone above and beyond in leading the effort to revitalize the Broom. A long road still lies ahead of us, but the glimmer in the eyes of the residents gives me hope for a brighter future.
You know what? I think that one also might be different from the Firmament, so I've really just fucked myself on this one. Oh well.
To be fair, at the very beginning of this series, you did say that there was likely going to be dialogues you miss.
Yeah, but, you know, I still wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, true. Well, time to new game place the Firmament.
No. No, I don't think I will.
If that even changes the dialogue.
I mean... You know, that's a good question, actually. I don't know.
Perhaps something to test off stream.
Maybe. Hey, Jill. Recently, call went out for able hands to help rebuild. A bunch of our regulars took up the cause. When I find a moment, I'll take them a little something to wet their whistle. Yeah, okay. That's the only different thing there. Up here... okay, let's check out Congregation. In here. I believe both of these two should have updated dialogue.
Sir Hildeth has appraised me of the situation. Impressive works at Barley. You fell the evil Nidhogg and then raise a monument to friendship and peace. We are truly blessed to have you on our side.
Once again, that's also a funny one, because normally his dialogue is just talking about Barless because we finished the Moogle quest line. But he's like, oh, also, I guess you killed Nidhogg. Your deeds have scattered the dark clouds that have long loomed over Ishgard. On my oath, we shall not squander the bright future you have won for us. Let me make sure there's nothing upstairs. Oh, yes, there is, actually. Wait, who's that guy down there? Oh, that is one of them. Hello, sir.
The Horde has fled, and there is much cause to celebrate. But I shall keep one eye on the horizon, nonetheless.
Fair enough. And then...
I very much like that the dialogue reflects stuff that we didn't get to cover more until far later into the story.
Mm-hmm.
If you've done a certain role quest.
Yes. After centuries of fighting, are we finally at peace? Ah, what a mawkish old fool I've become. I must needs return to my duties. And then I think this guy actually has something to say.
Hey, keep your voice down. Oh, sorry. Used to serve as a guardsman over by the Scoliacid. Force of Homage. Carry on.
And we'll deal with the Scholasticate eventually.
That's how you say it. Expect me to keep mispronouncing words. I'm terrible with
Trust
French
me,
words
I
and
do
names.
not blame you. By the way, nothing new in the Proving Grounds. That area does not need to exist. There's nothing in there.
Wait, that's the place where you went through the trial of Alphino, right?
No, actually, it is not. Here, I'll show you. This is a place where they have, like, chocobo fights.
I don't know if I've ever seen this.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally not used for anything.
I don't think I've ever knew that this was a place.
Yeah.
An actual thing.
Crazy, right? It's just one of those things, you know. It's a constant thing in Heavensward. I say this all the fucking time, like, no matter how much praise you will heap upon Heavensward, and I understand why people do. I don't agree with them, but I understand why people do it. You have to admit there are a ton of areas that you just don't fucking go to or use at all. There's just a ton of areas that are just like, whatever, there's this, I guess, you know?
I can appreciate a game putting in areas where there's really no purpose to them, except for maybe optional dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's an overabundance of them, and you don't know that most of them exist, or you can't, or you're never going to really notice them on your own, it is a little bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm. All right, up here we have Gonden Limbaud.
It's you, the champion who slew Nidhogg. Your deeds shall pass into legend, yet I am honored to speak with you thus in the flesh.
Thanks, man. And there should be one other guy around here, I think. Let's see. Should still be in the area of the Aetheryte Plaza. Let's see. Maybe we'll find him later. Let's see. Checking my notes. This gentleman. At long last I can return to my home, to Falcon's Nest. How I had dreamed of this moment. Wait, hang on.
Just noticed myself getting thirsty. This is my call for a water break for
Good plan.
for both
Oh my
of us.
god, it's a Viltrumite.
Dude, I keep getting invincible clips in into my Instagram reels, and I didn't watch season 1. I watched like 2 episodes maybe with friends, and then I never watched anything else. and so I've been spoiled on a lot because I've just been watching it out of care, but it genuinely looks very good.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think my biggest problem with it is purely a personal one. If not for this one problem, I would be fucking all over Invincible. And my one problem is I'm sure I've talked about this before. I just have a huge problem.
I think you talked about it on your last stream.
Probably, yeah. I just have a huge problem with, like, very specific brand of cartoon violence, you know? Happy Tree Friends ruined Invincible for me. That's just how it goes, you know?
I in the same way. It's the specific. It's not even just blood or wounds. It's the specifics of how like the guts and organs, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I getcha.
Anyways, I must mute for one moment.
No problem. Let's see. Oh, this is a new one. Can this be true? Not only do they want us poor folk to live in the firmament, they're helping us to do so as well? Never in my wildest dreams. That one I actually don't know if it's updated. You're a wart. You are not new. There's nothing new in the manufactory, I know. There's that guy. There's good old Cliffhanger. They'll never save him, I guess. What a shame. I should be fucking sprinting, bro. Gotta make use of jog. Welcome back.
My mom was just checking to see what my Chinese order would be.
Ooh. Hi, Nashu. I'll deal with you later.
I saw that the Hildebrand quest continued in Dawn Trail. I thought I honestly didn't remember if they were going to continue it or not. So I was just walking around.
Well, it is called Inconceivably Further Hildebrand Adventures, so I think they're just as surprised as you are. Alright.
You love a good old Hildebrand story.
It's true.
Warm welcome to you, Mr. Slorelei. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, you know, I'm just walking around, doing stuff.
Retracing your steps from those first days in Ishgard. I see. Well, no one could begrudge you for indulging in a little nostalgia. I am reminded how much I owe to you and yours. Lest you forget, foreign merchants were subject to a frankly unreasonable level of scrutiny until relatively recently. Not so now, however. Now, goods from every corner of Eorzea flow into our market, and that, my friend, is change we can all appreciate.
Merchants of all nations speak a common tongue, and its words are coin. Needless to say, there is little profit to be had in prejudice, especially against those who have received the patronage of a count. Thus, when the wards of House Fortemps arrived, she was glad to make their acquaintance.
I forgot. The Ishgardians were the one people who could rival Gridanians in racism.
Well, let's not count out the Garleans, but yes, I agree.
Out of the Eorzeans, I should say.
Sure, yeah.
As one might expect, all this political upheaval has had a significant impact on the markets, but there's profit to be had if one can navigate the chaos.
Neat. Okay, let's dip back to Gillibrand real quick. Just because we'll have to come back up this way in a minute.
But no, really, the Garleans are first place.
Oh yeah.
We all know in our hearts that Gridanians, they hold a special place.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Gil. What'll it be then? Ale? Mulled wine? No, don't tell me. Tea? How about memories, Gil? Oh, so it's to be memories then, is it? Now, there's a bit of drought that'll leave you wanting. Assume you can remember your own name, that is. Take your friend Tataru. One moment she's just another girl waiting on customers, clearing tables and so forth. And then she's got a dozen admirers asking after her every bloody night, and I'll be damned if I can remember how it happened. Yeah, she has that effect on people. Singing those stupid songs, dancing those daft dances. Though, to be honest, I think it was her stories that really won him over. Stories of a certain era's grand adventures across Eorzea, told with a flair that put a minstrel to shame. Who doesn't love a good hero's tale, am I right? Hells, we've even got one about the man who built this tavern. He's one of the founding fathers of Ishgard, or so it goes. Now, as the Enchiridion has told it, besides Haldrath, the only knights who survived the battle with Nidhogg were the founders of the High Houses. Of course, these days we all know better than to put too much stock in the words of the church, eh? But there's more to our tale than just words. There's a sword, too, one which has been passed down from proprietor to proprietor since before anyone could remember. Yeah, she's a rusty old bugger, but if you look closely at her handle, you can just about make out an inscription. Brothers brave and true, live well, forgotten and content. A man who forsook wealth and fame and chose the life of a humble tavern keeper. It's just a tale, of course, albeit a good one. As for the truth, who can say, friend? Who can say? Raising my hand, I can. I literally saw the guy who founded the Forgotten Knight in my memories, or my flashback memories. He's not named, but he's there.
That is true. That is true.
He knew everyone's story, though he would never share his own. An optimist. He wanted to believe in the best in people. Sometimes that faith would be rewarded, other times betrayed. But he would listen, regardless, and he would hope. And then to Camp Cloudtop. But first, we have to finish running around here.
I love that throughout this quest line, we get to see the internal, the internal thoughts of the warrior flight as they go around reminiscing. It is just such a great detail. Yeah.
I will say, I do kind of wish other expansions got this, you know?
I don't know why this specific quest is so highly praised, and I don't know why they never repeated this formula.
Pessimist in me is like, it's because they literally never thought that they were like, this is the peak, that we can't do any better than this expansion, and then they just like never actually tried to write another one. But I mean, I don't know, you know, anything could be possible.
I think part of it as well is that maybe they've tried to incorporate this revisiting and reminiscing across the MSQ more.
Also possible, yeah.
Not obviously to the same degree that this quest does, which is dedicated to that idea, but they throw in tidbits of at different points to get that idea across.
I don't. That's not new. Whatever. All right, let's chat with some of the Scholasticade folks because I believe they've got some updated stuff. Wilmot, hello.
You have taken interest in the Scholasticade robes. I remember how I longed for privilege to wear them, but now they make me a clear target for people's anger. I feel more guilt than joy.
Let's see. Hello, Lay. So, people are beginning to realize everything isn't all black and white. Good. No system is completely without corruption, but when I join the clergy, the unfaithful will be driven out. You have my word on that. Okay, I don't think anybody's worried about that, man. Alright. What do we got in here? Let's see. I think it's everybody except that guy.
In light of recent events, the practice of the orthodoxy has been called into question. I fear those who once sought the church for guidance will lose their way. But that is precisely why we must redouble our efforts. Faith in the church must not give way to doubt and dismay.
To think that there are those who would try to sully the reputation of the church. Meanwhile, I can do naught but spend countless hours poring over these books. Still have much to learn of the doctrine, this is true, but the clergy will not be subject to suspicion or ridicule after I take the cloth. I'll change the system from the inside out! I'll bet you will, buddy.
The church is not without its faults. It was only a matter of time before the people were given an excuse to decry its teachings. But the Holy See has seen us through thousands of years of war. It has given us hope, something to unite the nation in our struggle for peace. I hardly see fault in that.
Oh, bruv. Fury take me, must we revise the entire curriculum? What do you do here? Though I still teach on occasion, my primary responsibilities are now administrative, as I serve directly under Headmistress Elvianne. Her knowledge of the Enchidrion is without peer, and it was well that His Eminence appointed her to oversee the Scholasticate. However, owing to her age, she is unable to attend to all her duties. Her absence is most keenly felt in these chaotic times when we must reevaluate the veracity of our entire doctrine. When seminarians and clergy dare not travel unescorted for fear of coming to harm. Oh, by the Fury, where in the hells has my nephew got to? Doop-a-doop-a-doo. However, due to recent revelations concerning church doctrine, we are currently reevaluating our entire curriculum. At this point in time, it is difficult to say what changes will be made. At the very least, I should expect the trivium and the quadrivium to remain, but the administration is somewhat divided on other subjects. I have no doubt that the headmistress and I are sensitive to the people's... have no doubt that the headmistress and I are sensitive to the people's concerns. We wish only to educate and guide them. And once again, we will look deeply into that during the Scholasticate stuff. When we will see the return of Nico and Otaku tag teaming. That quest line. There's gonna be a lot of Otaku and Nico coming up in the next couple of streams, because I think next we're gonna be doing some MSQ, but then after that, of course, is Relics, and then probably either Scholasticate or Hildebrand. I don't know which one. I might flip a coin or something.
You know, I am looking forward to the fact that things are getting closer to Heavensward, which means we're getting closer to Eureka, which means I can actually start working on Relic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll actually have incentive for that.
Yeah. Oh boy, I still don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for that.
Speaking of Nico, reminded me of that, for the record.
Next Relic stream is going to be awesome because there's going to be basically no reading. It's literally just going to be like a podcast of us spamming A9S over and over and over again.
I honestly have not even touched the Eureka weapons. Not Eureka, the anima weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know much. I only was there for a short bit of one of your streams. About that. I remember Garrow selling, basically spending their money meant to be spent on the weapons on a good old bottle of wine, so...
Yep. I mean, that is kind of a constant thing, but yes, I agree.
And him getting chewed out by a child.
Yeah.
You know, the normal.
Yup.
A splendid day to you, miss. What an honor to speak to the valiant hero who slew the dreaded Nidhogg right before our very gates. I would shake your hand, but to do so would betray the trembling of my fingers. You have brought hope and light to our fair city, and on behalf of Ishgard's people, I salute you. I suppose you'll soon be off to fight other wars and delve into far-flung ruins? Quite an exciting life, you sells. Adventurers lead.
Thanks, I guess. I would say, honestly, of the relic weapons, other than maybe, like, the Manderville weapons in Endwalker, because those are essentially just do the Hildebrand quests and also have, you know, like 4,500 tomes or whatever it is. The anima weapon's probably one of the easier ones to get done, I think.
I do remember hearing that.
It's also gotten easier now that, like, you're a high enough level where you could potentially just solo A9S, which you couldn't do previously.
Well, I'm watching somebody's dog running around my street without anything, so I think somebody's dog got out.
Probably fine. Maybe. I don't know.
And there they go.
There you are. Hi, Arethia. Will the birth of these new houses change how the highborn treat the low? Makes me wonder how things might have been for that poor girl if this had happened years ago. Talking about Hilda there. In case that's not obvious. And I have planned this so perfectly, we've ended right near the place where we need to go to get to the Sea of Clouds. I'm so smart.
While we were talking about Ishgardians being racist, I do often forget that they were extremely classist.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things that's just like... we didn't really get a chance to see it before we actually came to Ishgard. Hello, sir.
You're standing aboard the very first large-scale airship born of Ishgardian ingenuity, the Protector. The ship would have marked a monumental change in the war against the Horde. Assuming Nidhogg hadn't been slain, and his minions scattered to the winds, of course. I suppose I shall have to convince our investors that other threats lurk amongst the clouds if we're to guarantee further funding.
Alright, and that is the only updated dialogue in Camp Cloudtop specifically, and now we are off to the Rose House. Talk with Laniette. And see if this quest will disrupt our ability to see her updated dialogue. Although, once again, she also very well could have updated dialogue for the Firmament specifically. But I don't know. We'll find out.
A potential double miss?
Could be. Excuse me. Stretching. Hang on. Should I give her the same accent as all of her brothers?
It'd be really funny if the single sister, or like at least the single sister that we get to meet, is a completely different accent. That's
and technically speaking, that is how it's actually been. Because I forgot that all of her other siblings, actually except for Francel, have normal accents, and then Stefanovi and his other siblings are Australian.
A different idea.
Yeah.
Really funny to keep her on a singular accent, except when she gets angry, in which she goes back into the same one as her brothers.
Okay.
Just an idea.
Yeah, you know what? I like that. Okay. One sec.
And she gets angry a lot, so I remember, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yes, whenever a Manolane is involved, yeah. Mistress Lorelei, I was but this moment thinking of you. I had hoped to speak with you at Sir Emmerich's investiture, but circumstances conspired to prevent me from attending. Mayhap you will allow me to say now what I could not say then. On behalf of House Helionart and all of Ishgard, I offer unto you my deepest and most humble thanks. You risked your life to stand against our sworn enemy, and freed us from a millennium of torment. Though we can never hope to repay you, we will ever remember you and your deeds, that our children and their children's children might know the woman to whom they owe their lives. I concede that the grand investiture would have been a more fitting occasion for such words, but I could not risk them left being unspoken. What brings you this way? As you can see, Camp Cloudtop remains much the same as it did during the war. Though we need no longer watch the skies for Dravanian outflyers, the Vanu Vanu have proven themselves similarly worthy of our attention. Oh, well...
I was
buddy.
wondering if he would show up.
Hey, man.
I say, old girl, you have the most uncanny ability to appear whenever I least expect you.
You have the same problem, E-Money.
But enough about that. On a raw.
Yes, my lord. Lady Laniette, I am pleased to report that we succeeded in infiltrating Vundu territories, and there observed the beastmen harvesting crystals at several different sites. Based on the volume of crystals acquired during our period of surveillance, I have prepared an estimate of how much time I believe it will take the Vundu to gather sufficient crystals for another summoning. I have also taken the liberty of drafting several proposals outlining how the Rose Knights might prevent such an eventuality, such as raiding these sites and securing their stores, as well as a detailed assessment of the risks involved should you choose to proceed. God, Hanaro's so fucking competent, it's insane. By the Fury, I gathered you were clever, but I was not aware you were capable of this. With respect, you are wasted on your master. She's right.
She is absolutely right.
Hard-working, full of potential. Aye, I think there is a place for you here with the Rose Knights, if you would have it.
That you would even consider taking me into your service is a tremendous honor, my lady, and were I free to do so, I should gladly accept. But I am pledged to another, as you well know. Regrettable, but understandable.
He's not worth it.
I take comfort in the fact that a youth of your talent and character will never want for opportunities. He's so mad!
Pledged to another, you rascal. I thought you were whispering in young Salouette's ear the other day. You certainly wasted no time in wooing our newest maid.
That is the other young kid who is in House Fortom employ, who is, like, hired after the events of Main Heavensward.
Be no secrets between us. You must tell me everything. Where have you been sneaking off to together? What adventures you've been having? Every little detail. And don't you dare leave anything out.
Start running.
I am sure he will not. In any event, you have jointly exceeded my expectations. I grant you leave to return to the city. Should the need arise, I shall call upon you again. Thank you, my lady. I believe we shall do as you suggest. Until we meet again, Mistress Lorelei.
Call me.
I won't.
Not so fast! The next airship isn't due for another hour, and we have so much to talk about! Honora? Honora!
Yep. For all the lady's disdain, it was an old familiar dance. To her, Lord Amanalaine would always be the boy fumbling for a compliment. And perhaps there was comfort in that, a memory of home on the bleak frontier. In all honesty, we could easily do without their assistance. And yet, I cannot deny that a part of me has come to look forward to their impromptu visits. Don't say that.
It's what that last line of dialogue said. It's just for the reason the last line of dialogue said.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't like any eventuality in which those two ever become a couple. That is... It's just not happening.
The only way I could see it is if, like, I'd rather them not force it and let it be a case of actual character development ends up forcing, like, allowing her to develop feelings.
Instead, Amanalaine is forced into his gay situationship with the fucking guy from Endwalker.
Let's be honest. That's what we all would rather see.
Yes,
but...
that is. It's also much funnier. Alright, we'll have to circle back around to Laniette. To get her updated thing. But that's okay.
Considering that she's here more than with her brothers, she's probably shoulder deep in Code Switch. I 100% otaku.
Alright, Falcon's Nest. You know, I'm actually really curious. I want to know if Redwald has anything different to say, because he was kind of part of the last important part of Firmament stuff.
There's so much more than a mirror leaf. It is a symbol of what once was, and what could be again. To see it stained with blood.
I cleaned it off pretty well, so that seems good. Hello, Redwald. Oh good, I get to do the French accent again. 1,000 pardons, Mistress Lorelei. Had I known you were planning to pay us a visit, I would have seen that you received a proper reception. A feast, perhaps. Or at least a formal welcome with the men in full dress. Don't do that. Hey, you remember this? You have more than earned it. One need only look to the pilgrims who come in the droves to pray before the relief to see the truth of that. Some abide in silence, while others shed tears. Not for sorrow, you understand, but for joy. For the joy at being released from Nidhogg's torment.
Sir Redwald, the shipment has been unloaded, and the quartermaster confirms that all supplies are accounted for. Mistress Lorelei, are you here on official business?
Not really.
A journey to remember and reflect. Aye, much has changed since we first came here together. Since I abandoned you to follow the heretic's trail alone.
Come, my lord. Mayhap you recall the survivor whom you carried back to Falcon's Nest that day? Well, his wife but recently gave birth to their first child.
Is that so? Well, mayhap I should pay him a visit.
Though he would be doubtless be honored, my lord, you need not put yourself into such trouble. Your responsibilities as count surely leave little enough time as is.
Think not on that. I am still me, and you are still you. Whatever our respective titles, I would speak to you as a friend. This preoccupation with position and power has sown no end of discord between our two houses, to the great detriment of our nation. It is especially galling that one considers that much of what we have achieved was by virtue of our blood, and not our character. So call me Count, if you must, but know that I take no pride in it. Mayhap one day, when I've earned it, I will, but not today.
Still himself, is he? Yeah, I guess. An honorable man, mindful of tradition, but he was loath to accept the assistance of a foreigner in exile. But when forced to confront bitter truths, he looked within and found himself wanting. Pride be damned, then, if it lead one astray. He would set aside his prejudices and join hands with this gifted outcast for the greater good of Ishgard. Humility and nobility are, regrettably, all too often at odds. He shall make a fine count.
The horde took flight. Its numbers darkened the very skies. Should I live to see 100 winters, I shall never forget that terrible sight.
True. Okay. Let's see. Maricel? I wonder how it must have felt for that serving woman when she learned of Nidhogg's death. We'll find that out in Stormblood! Seriously, we will.
The reclamation of the Western Highlands can resume in earnest now that, well, I'm sure you, of all people, least need an explanation as to why. As for myself, I shall be kept busy preparing pot after pot of soup. There's naught better to fill hungry bellies and bring warmth back to snow-chilled limbs.
This is the guy who is the little brother of the cook in Whiterun Front. We were talking about him earlier.
You let us get drugged!
Well, you know. Bygones, bygones, whatever. Okay. I think it's you, right? Everything looks to be in order, I think. Is Artemis? What do you do here? Yada yada. Just thinking back to that ceremony makes me shudder. It's a bloody miracle that worm didn't slaughter us all then and there. Let's see. Times have changed. The Holy See would have us reclaim what is lost, starting with Falcon's Nest. It won't be easy, but anything worth doing rarely is, eh? Okay, next. Roth, and then we've got Ingare, wherever she is.
Now the real task begins. It'll be a mountain of work putting these lands back to the way they were, but no true craftsman shies away from a challenge.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, Carol.
He's not a true craftsman. He's a freak. Hello. The horde has lost its head, aye, but don't be fooled. The snows are still home to more than a few dragons. It's not even counting the other beasts out there that'll risk a blade in the guts for a taste of man flesh. I hate it when people say man flesh. Don't care for it. All right, back to that place where we kicked the shit out of 2 knights of the Heavensward when they accused us of heresy for no reason. Good times.
Out of curiosity, I remember you mentioning this a while ago, a long time ago in conversation, and it's not something exactly I remember the details on, but isn't it impossible that they were tempered before?
I mean, isn't
that like what that's implied from one of the tales? Of,
it is absolutely confirmed that they have been tempered for a while.
Or they were tempered at that point. They were just hiding their power levels, as many true bigots do. Two foreign heretics against two knights of the Heavensward. Under the watchful gaze of the Fury, they would fight, and the winner's claims would be proven true. It was the opening gambit of a greater game whose stakes would remain unknown for some time. Yep, it sure would. And where the fuck? Oh, up there. Sure, I guess. I really don't understand the path. Oh, right, yeah, because we went to meet with the Archbishop. Right, of course. Oh, hello, sir. Good evening to you, miss. Halone's blessings be upon you. You are Mistress Lorelei, if I'm not mistaken. We have met, though I'm sure you do not remember. It was a seeming lifetime ago when you answered the Archbishop's summons. I often come here to reflect upon all that has come to pass, and when I saw you gazing at the Holy Vault, I thought perhaps you had too. You turned our world upside down. Everything we held dear. For change, for the truth. He said it had to be done, that his grace sought godhood. So, then perhaps it was the Fury's will that you prevail. But to say it, to believe it. I know that no man is without sin, but he was pious and humble, wholly devoted to the church and his people. I knew him, miss, and he was a good man. Whatever else he may have been, I will remember him as a good man. Okay.
I have to be back real quick.
Yeah, no worries. To walk the righteous path, to live for the sake of others, to rise to the highest station yet remain powerless to bring an end to your people's suffering. What price salvation, then? What sacrifice beyond reason? For uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. Or Pope hat, in this case. And now we gotta go to fucking Limsa. Of course. Why wouldn't we go to Limsa? And yes, Otaku, you did hear a little miss. She's scampering around doing her thing. Actually, where is this? Wait. Yeah, lower. Bulwark Hall. Yeah. Ruja, this is most unexpected. You have business with the Admiral? Journey of remembrance, you say? Well, far be it from me to deny you. Unannounced or not, I suspect the Admiral would be most displeased if she had heard that I turned you away. Hi, Merlewib. Thank the Navigator. I had resigned myself to another day spent listening to my advisors prattle on about the Beastman's latest movements. Come, Rusha, tell me of your adventures. I killed a dragon. The Ishgardians sail in uncharted waters. Though I hope these new reforms of theirs meet with no resistance, 'twould not be the first grand voyage to run afoul of reefs ere it properly began. With Sir Emmerich at the helm, they may yet chart a course for generations to follow. Which is not to say that our own doesn't need correcting. The Alliance has grown complacent. The bloody nose you gave us at the melee showed me that. Nor have I forgotten the lessons of the banquet. Rest assured, we will root out any further turncoats before the dagger is at our back. You have my word on that, and Lady Yugiri's besides. She had never been one to retreat, much less in the face of transparent theatrics, but this had been no ordinary battlefield, its rules of engagements anything but clear. So she would watch, and she would learn, and in time, she would act. Never again, Ruja. Never again. And then to Bevenant's Toll.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Though I probably will have to disappear in a short bit again soon. My mom went to go pick up food.
No worries. I actually am gonna run to the bathroom real quick as well before we get too much further. I'll be right back.
I realized I forgot to refill my water as well, so let me go ahead and do that as well. I'm back, chat.
Okay, back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. All right. Where the fuck are we going? Oh yeah, up here.
I keep forgetting that you can move and use a mount now.
Me too. Hello, Higiri.
Mr. Swoosha, is that a miss?
Nah, just, walking around doing stuff.
I am both flattered and surprised that you should remember my small role in this tale, given the grandeur of your subsequent endeavors. Though I must confess to having derived some selfish pleasure from donning the garments of the shinobi once more, I am honored to have been able to assist in freeing General Raban from his captivity. And I believe I speak for all my countrymen when I say that we are most grateful to have been granted the opportunity to contribute to the restoration of the Scions. Much has changed, it is true, and much may never be as it once was. But in watching you and yours rise from the ashes and rebuild, I'm reminded that we must never give in to despair, for there is always something that which may yet be saved.
So true. The oaths we swear. Prevention was ever better than cure, as Higiri knows only too well.
Will you be traveling to Ul'dah next? If so, I would ask a favor of you. I prepared a special, ungent?
I think so.
Ungent? To aid in General Raban's rehabilitation. Injuries such as his must be tended to daily, even long after they've healed. You need only deliver it to his man, Commander Swift. He will see that the Flame General receives it.
I hope it will let him regrow his arm.
Few shinobi have the fortitude and strength of will to return to the battlefield after suffering so grievous an injury. Not only do they struggle to adapt to their techniques, but many complain of strange, inexplicable aches. Should General Raban experience them, it is my hope that this ungent will help.
Alright, Ul'dah.
My dog keeps on opening my door and then walking away. She wants my door open.
Just leaving her options open,
My door does this thing where when it starts getting to the warmer months of the year, it could just be pushed open. So I even locking it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she just keeps doing. She keeps pushing it open. and is just walking away, waiting to come in.
Classic. Greetings, Ruja. What is that you have there? Doman unguent, containing a variety of ground herbs and natural oils. The recipe for this traditional medicine, thank you, has been passed down for generations. There you go. Unguent. I was not aware the general required such stuff, and one of our Doman friends made this for him, did she? Very well, she'll be sure to pass it on. Actually, wait here. We have just this moment concluded a meeting, and I expect he would be glad to speak with you before returning to the palace. Yes, Rauban!
The goat!
Well, the bull, actually. But...
Yes, yes, you are correct. So, Commander Swift tells me you've come all this way to deliver unguent.
yeah, it'll help regrow your arm, maybe.
Daily, she says. Ha! Well, mayhap it is best to be prudent. The gods alone know why you agreed to deliver it for her, though. Unless you mean to favor me with that rematch I requested.
So cool!
I jest, lass. You are on a journey of reflection, are you not? Aye, Merle Webb said as much. And now you want to relive the moment you pulled me away from the pit Ilberd left me in to rot. It shames me to think of it, that I was so blind to his hatred. Lolorito tells me that it was not always so, that Ilberd admitted to him that he once believed that I would return to Alabigo at the head of an army. But years passed, and I did nothing. For all my accomplishments, for all my wealth, power, and influence, I did not to better the plight of my people. Not for lack of trying. But Ilbert didn't know. He thought the bull of Alabigo had grown fat and complacent, that my story set a bad example of our countrymen. Forget your homeland and chase the Uldan dream. A fine, impossible dream, which gave men the strength to endure their hardships and try to make new lives for themselves here. So the dream had to die. He would kill me, stir up the disillusioned, arm them at the monetarist expense, and then... Forgive me. The science paid the price of my failings. The gods know I've no shortage of debts to repay, of vows to keep and duties to discharge. But mark me well, lass. There will be a reckoning. Mayhaps not today, mayhap not tomorrow, but a reckoning there will be.
God, he's so cool.
Absolute cinema.
A refugee of a fallen nation, he had risen from the depths of poverty to claim a seat on the Syndicate. Yet for all his great deeds, one was left undone. And like sands through an hourglass, the years slipped away, taking with them an old friend's hope. Now that the Flame General, actually, nope, that's the same line as before. Okay. Let's hit, this.
You know, it pains me that you're going to have to do triple triad stuff one day.
No. I've just decided no.
You know what? That's fair. What's the Maelstrom commander in outside the Af Castle in the Maelstrom base? I spent hours trying to get the Merlewip card.
Or rather, Ricky.
Hours.
I think is
yes.
It's Rashtat Ricky, but yeah.
Yes.
Chat.
It was not a good time.
I'm trying to chat with Redwold real quick here before we get too far out. See if. Mistress Lorelei, I believe the time has come for that flagon. I will not be offended, however, should other duties demand your attention. I shall gladly drink for the two of us and hoist a mug in memory of the fallen. Cool. hang on, sorry. Doing another check. I really should probably have done this check later, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Yes, okay. We will, in fact, return to the Sea of Clouds at some point for this quest line. So we will go back to Laniette for that. Boy, it's really fucked up that they actually make us go the actual real route of places that we go to for all of these things. Like, we're gonna have to go, like, to, like, Annex Trine, to Gridania, to Tailfeather, to Ul'dah again.
I kind of like it.
Damn.
I'm kind of like it if I'm being honest. I think it's a very neat thing that I wish we got to see more of this from other expansions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I definitely appreciate the ability to retrace my steps, but I think also it, like, super highlights just how, like, fucking, like, insane all of the places that Heavensward makes you, like, go back and forth from all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
By the Fury, is that you, Mistress Lorelei? Forgive me, but what reason could you possibly have for returning to this God's forsaken place? Mayhap it is fate which brings you here on this day of introspection and reflection. We are come to Gorgadni Mills to accept the surrender of half a dozen heretics who once fought for the Lady Iceheart. If you are intending to visit the cellars, I would ask that you do nothing to unsettle them. These rumors of a general amnesty for Lady Iceheart's followers have caused no small amount of dissent in the ranks. It was not so long ago that they were ambushing our convoys, after all. But if it is to be a choice between reconciliation and a return to violence, I choose reconciliation.
All right.
I think something that they also could have done is they didn't need to go to each and every specific location. They could have, like, skipped out on a few of the lesser important parts as another thing.
For sure. All right. Wait! I know, you were at the amphitheater with the Dragon Slayer. Yeah, that was me. I suppose we owe you an apology. When you came to us seeking to parley, we were sure it was a scheme to lure out Our Lady. We were sure about a lot of things. When she first shared with us her revelation, when she told us that she was not Saint Shiva reborn, we assumed it was a test, for had we not prayed for salvation? Had she not descended to deliver us from evil? She replied that our prayers were but fuel for a fever dream, a construct born of desperation and denial. She was no savior, she said. But when we marched upon Ishgard regardless, she pulled us from the brink of oblivion and implored us to find another way. And here we are, ready to lay down our arms at last.
It is time.
She considered you a friend. Had things been different, mayhap we could have been friends too. Farewell. Bye-bye. Forsaken by gods and men, they found salvation in a revelation. They would take up arms against their own kind to set ancient wrongs to right, cut out Ishgard's festering heart, and the war would be over. This they knew, believed with all their being, until their savior told them their efforts would be for naught. And on to the Convictory, my favorite place that is not talked about enough. And my favorite place that simply will not get updated, really. My nutty bar. Oh yeah. So yesterday I was on our Optimus, and I was just queuing for I think expert roulette maybe, and some random guy walked up to me, stared at me for a little bit, and then like sent me a tell that was like, awesome name, awesome glam, you win at life, and then traded me 1,000,000 gil, and then left. I was like, shit, I gotta make money somehow, I guess. Who am I to turn that down? Alright, let's see. Kenrek? What? This had better be about dragons. What do you do here? Yada yada yada. Now that Nidhogg is slain, we shall never have the glory of claiming that particular kill, but there are plenty of unfriendly wyverns in the sky, eh? Peace may reign in the city, but in the wild, it's business as usual. It's a good thing, too. None of us know any of life other than dragon slaying. We shall remain here, toughing on our chapped hands and honing our stabbers until the day Jantalop turns us all out in the snow. Let's see. Disenfranchised nobles and their retainers, penniless vagabonds, and half-mad sellswords. Aye, we're a contemptible lot of cads, bounders, and dragon stabbers. Evil dragons, of course, not nice ones. But we are all committed to the cause. May Saint Phinia watch over and keep us safe. She's our patron saint, lest you wonder. Held the dusk vigil against the horde when no pragmatic folk would have fled, but Saint Phinia wouldn't have it. Oh no. She was the soul of conviction, and so are we. I bet you are, buddy. Hang on, there's one other guy around here. Yes, you.
Your efforts have not only changed the Convictors for the better, but also brought about the first steps in leading Ishgard to a bright and shining future. I dare say you are a greater hero than even Haldrath himself.
Yeah, I think I agree. Hello. Well, if it isn't the great warrior of light herself, she who slew the dreadworm Nidhogg, bringing end to 1,000 years of war, and my very livelihood. Well, go on then, strike me down and finish the job. Stab me right in the heart. I'll even lend you my spear if you like. After all, I won't be bloody needing it. Tell me true, for a moment I had you fooled. Ye gods, as if I could hate the woman who rid us of Nidhogg. Oh, and lest you worry, that business about me losing my livelihood couldn't have been further from the truth. In point of fact, Pierce is proving surprisingly lucrative. As our nation's ties with Hraesvelgur's brood have grown stronger, and our interest in Travania have begun to expand, we've seen a marked increase in the number of travelers on the road. Needless to say, said travelers require protection, which we are only too happy to provide. Granted, such work will not earn you a lordship like slaying a dragon might, but it pays well. It's far less prone to end in incineration, which seems a reasonable enough compromise, all things considered. As long as there are wars to fight, there will be those who take up arms not out of hatred or even a sense of duty, but for want of better employment. When presented with an alternative, such individuals may gladly trade their swords for scythes, or failing that, pledge them to a more worthy cause. Were you going to say something?
Nah, I was just laughing at this guy.
Yeah.
Funny dialogue.
Pity I was not there with you on the steps of faith to share in the honor and glory of Nidhogg's defeat. No, instead you guys made yourselves a nuisance by fucking, like, attacking, or potentially attacking Vidofnir when she came. Off to Tailfeather. And then, of course, we'll probably have to come back and talk to Jantalop because he's also got some updated dialogue.
Would it make more sense to skip ahead to any of the characters with updated dialogue now instead of having to go back and forth for them?
You know, that's a good idea, actually. Let's hit Annex Trine real quick and just say hi to Vidofnir real quick. I think we will be back here again, I think, because we'll have to talk to... Well, actually, you know what? I don't remember if that... Maybe that happens right after we do this quest. Hello, Vidofnir. How are you?
Thou hast conquered the shade, warrior of warriors. I pray thee for thine efforts. Yet thou he did plunge a lance into my back. I take no joy in Nidhogg's death.
He was a worm of the first brood, and one by one their irreplaceable number doth dwindle. We must make certain of this peace betwixt our kinds, lest the river of blood shed by either side stain the ground in vain.
That's true. Alright. I'm teleporting again. Ugh. What's up, Marcy Champ? Something matter, lass? Nath giving you trouble? Journey of remembrance, eh? God, it feels like only yesterday Izel turned up in Tailfeather with you in tow. Back into our lives and gone all too soon. I ever tell you how we found her 5 years back? In a torpor out in the forest all by her lonesome? Ah, well, we weren't about to leave her there, so we carried her back here and tended her till she woke up. Didn't say a word for days, Izel. Sat there and stared up at the sky as if the ground held nothing for her. And it didn't, we learned, when she finally spoke. Now, you might think she's not one to smile, but if you'd seen her in those years that followed... And one day, all of a sudden, she says she's got the truth that must be shared. Up and leaves for the gods knows where. And that was the last we heard of her, for a time. Redemption's not beyond us, friends. Come and hear the truth. Come and hear the Lady Iceheart speak. And they did, from far and wide. So the stories went. Some said there was nothing in it, but I knew. I knew. I think, Rouge, that deep down most folk want to do right by themselves and by others. And they try. Oh, how they try. You do, certainly. And so did she. Legacies believe. Marcy Champ would see you on your way. Apologies. You came here to think on your own memories, not to listen to mine. I take it the Nath are next. Alright then, for to do this properly, you'll need to gather up your incentive, same as before. In case you've forgotten, that's a basket of fresh Calum tree fruit, a good-sized jar of landtrap nectar, and a dirty great cartload of young Nanka flesh. Ah, come on, lass, surely you can't be that bloody daft. You're more than welcome in their village already. Safe travels. Mind me, how did you manage to harvest the Calum tree fruit again? Ah, yes, the Dragoon. Charming fellow, as I recall. I love the relationship between Marcy Champ and Izael. It's so cute. That's her dad. Her hunter dad.
You're my dad! Boogie woogie woogie!
And that's one of those things, too, where I'm like... Easy way to make Izael an interesting, like, trust character that isn't just like, she's a thaumaturge, crazy! Is by making her have a bow, you know? Anyway, hello, Mr. Storyteller.
Hunter of dragons and gods, I bid you welcome. What would you ask of me this day?
Remember when I came here and killed Ravana?
Once we would have no conception of what you speak. The one mind does not forget, but we do. It could be most distressing. To remember is not enough. One must strain, give words to memory, and inscribe words upon parchment. This is the This is the chronicler's calling. He wrote of how you came to Lost Asvath, and how you left to slay Ravana, and how the young hunter trained with the old hunter while you were away. We shall treasure these memories, this history you have given us, and when new Vath join us, we shall share it with them as well.
Bound no longer by the will of the many, they were now free to walk their own path. Thus reborn, they would write the first chapter of a new history to be passed on to future generations. As their culture grew older and richer, so too would their story. The ruby creature... sorry, that's you, never mind.
The ruby creature is the young hunter's commands. We wonder, is it delicious? We would never eat his, of course.
Can you eat a carbuncle? That's a good question. Probably not. They're made of magic.
I'm sure if you could eat it by absorbing magic, if that's kind of like if the way you absorb magic is by eating, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
A la dragon slayers from Fairy Tale.
Very true.
I always hate navigating this area.
Me too.
Whenever there's a quest that ends up having to come here, because I always end up missing them.
Yeah.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, thou art ever welcome in Annex Shrine. What bringeth thee to us this day? There is much wisdom to be gained from looking to the past. To walk half-remembered paths and mark anew their twisting turns. We too do this, though not through pilgrimage, nor less the written word beloved of thy historians. In song do we preserve the deeds of our loss and chronicle the passing of the ages. Naught hath greater power to stir our hearts. 'Twas a dirge of profoundest sadness that roused Nidhogg's brood to action. A dirge which soundeth no more. Now a new song riseth to fill the void, one of hope rekindled, of war's end and peace rebirth. I shall sing of thee in Izel's ever after, that all may know and remember.
In the chorus, the fallen could rise once more, for none are dead whose names yet echo in the heavens, and the song would not end until the last voice fell silent. Heroes and villains, sinners and saints, all would live again.
We sing of Nidhogg even now, not to praise him, but to speed his soul unto its rest, for even he is deserving of peace.
That is true. And now we talk to the fucking Moogles.
That's a good time for me to be right back and go get my food.
Yes. Where are you, you little freak? You little freak! You're a freak! There he is. Oh, good, it's the fucking chief. Hey. Talk to me, dickhead. Well, yank my palm and call me a mole bat. I certainly wasn't expecting to see you today. Still calling yourself Ruja? Not that there's anything wrong with that, Kupo. Anyway, what are you doing here? I know. Walking. Thank heavens for that. I was sure you were going to ask for help with yet another one of your exciting quests, but by all means, we'd love to pass the time reminiscing about the good old days. And when better than now, Kupo? What with your friends visiting and all? Wait right here, and I'll fetch them. And by I mean that guy will do it. I'm not fucking moving from my seat.
Full glad am I to see you again, Ruja, and in Markholm, of all places. Kupopo, it really is you, and just when we were about to leave. I think it wonderful, this pilgrimage of yours. A final reflection upon the past, that you might face the future with eyes unclouded and a heart at peace. Few would deny that the events of recent days warrant such contemplation. When last we stood in this place, I dare say none among our number would have believed what was to follow, young Estinian least of all. Upon learning what befell him at Azizla, I confess I thought him lost. But when Master Alphino told me of your great struggle and of his salvation, I was reminded of your talent for the impossible.
If you ask me, he seemed altogether too stubborn to die, though I suppose it is no small feat to evict a spite-filled worm once it has made its home in one's head.
I'm back if you'd like me to take a character, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. Why don't you can read for Connie here.
Okay. With Nidhogg's passing, the children of Ishgard and Javanya may at last look to the future. It is my hope, however, that they will not forget the deeds of history, nor the many thousands of lives lost in their conflict, for only through remembrance will they avoid the mistakes of the past. We thank you again for your hospitality, Chieftain Moglin, and pray that you will one day allow us to extend you the same courtesy. I wish you well on your journey, Ruja. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal.
Until we meet again, Kupo! Even in the farthest reaches of distant, dangerous lands, one may chance upon a friendly face. Though given to mischief and largely unconcerned by the troubles of the outside world, they came to understand Ishgard's plight, and agreed to lend their aid. Eventually, that is. By all means, feel free to visit us again. If you like, we can even find some chores for you to do, for old time's sake. I would rather not finish that sentence.
You know, it's really funny because even though I don't have crafters and gatherers available to do the Moogle quest line. I did, without knowing that you needed to do all of the quests in here to unlock them. I did anyways, so
Yeah.
wouldn't have bothered me at the time. But I'm one of the lucky few in that regard.
God, it pisses me off so much how they did that quest line.
Is the quest line bad?
No,
wasn't
it's
there
not.
for
It's
when-
not bad. It's just that like it happens at such a weird time, and it sends you back to the Churning Mists for just that. Like it's literally it's not matched with an MSQ thing, right? It's literally just you do it, and you know, take a break from the MSQ to go do that shit. Alphinaud would have loved gathering firewood. The crackling warmth of Alphinaud's campfire, the savory waft of Isael's bubbling stew, the soft snoring of Moghan asleep in the grass. Istinian was also there.
He's the Azure Dragoon.
Fuck, man, he sure is. Cold wind blew that night as well, and on the morrow they mounted the steps and blew the horn. But having climbed to the summit with hope in their hearts, they descended dejected, weighed down by truths too grim to contemplate.
I love that they included the campfire scene here as well.
And now to Ul'dah. Sure. You know, usual.
Instead of talking to, probably the most important person in this area. Okay.
Well, you know, he's busy. I don't know. I don't know what he's busy with, but he's busy. Surely. Royal Promenade.
Genlin's this bum.
Yep. Hey, buddy.
I forgot how much I hated the Paladin questline.
Yep, because it's not good.
I just remembered upon seeing him. It's like, no,
The memories come flooding back. Like, no! No!
I got an echo vision. No!
I gotta go.
No!
I gotta run.
You there! Over here, quickly! Oh wait, I realize who this is.
Hey! You are not supposed to be here.
Should have known that that you'd see through my disguise. But enough talk. We cannot linger here, lest the guards recognize their Sultana.
But enough talk. Have at you!
Expects the old odd Inquisition.
Anytime anybody says enough talk, I always have to go, have at you!
What is that from again? Like, I recognize
It's from Castlevania. It's what Dracula says in like the opening cutscene before he throws down. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you!
As you may have deduced, I was taking an air outside the palace when I saw you standing there, staring off into space. Have you something on your mind?
That was just disassociating, you know.
I understand completely. So much has happened. So much has changed. And all in so short a space of time. Even now, I struggle to make sense of it all. But one thing, at least, is abundantly clear. I owe you an immense debt of gratitude for all you have done on my behalf and on behalf of those whom I hold dear. After I awoke, Papa Sean told me everything. It was a lot to take in, but nothing could prepare me for what Lord Lolorito had to say. That ruthless, manipulative swine came before me expressed regret for what had come to pass, and thinking to make amends, offered all of Teleji Adeleji's assets, as well as half of his own personal fortune to the crown. And I accepted. Long did I debate how to best use this wealth. There's no end to the troubles facing our nations, and no shortage of worthwhile causes. Yet none among our people have suffered more than the refugees, and it is they who shall be first to receive aid and succor. There's also the matter of the terrible wrongs committed against you and yours, for which I am a large part responsible. Nay, do not protest. It is the truth. Accordingly, I have set aside monies to aid the Scion's rebuilding, if you would have them.
That would be most welcome, thank you, Your Grace. Maybe it would be best if we didn't do that. Just, probably not a good idea.
I see. I trust you know that I would never presume to atone for my mistakes with money. I only wish to see it put to good use. Assuming you have no objections, I shall pledge the funds to continue development of Revenant's Toll. Oh, listen to me. So much for enjoying a moment's respite outside the palace walls. It rather seems as if I have brought my responsibilities with me. I suppose I should return. Excuse me.
Gesundheit. Lady Lilira, you must come home at once. Father is worried sick, you know. Ah, confound it. You lot search this area. I know she came through here.
On the other hand, it is essential that a ruler sees firsthand how her subjects go about their daily lives. I have not visited the markets in... It would seem a shame to let this opportunity go to waste. Pruja, might I impose on you to have a brief yet cordial conversation with the Sultan Sworn? I leave the choice of subject matter up to you. Take care!
Great, running interference. Hello, would you mind looking this way and not any other direction?
I beg your pardon.
I can take this guy.
Okay.
I beg your pardon, miss, but did you perchance see a young Lalafell noblewoman pass this way? Nope, sorry. Are you certain? Oh dear, Master Papashan said this might happen, but I never truly believed he was serious. The triumphs we share! Oh good, it's the second to last one. Thank fucking God we're almost done with this. Wait, I know you! You're Rouja Lorelei! Oh, what a stroke of luck! I can think of none better qualified to help us. You see, it is no mere noblewoman that we seek. But Master Papashan was most explicit about the need for secrecy. Pray forget I mentioned. We will find the lady on our own. Bye! What a cruel fate, to lose her father as a child and be compelled to rule in his stead. And yet, how the years had tempered her dreams and taught her, sometimes brutally, the price of naivety. Though outwardly unscathed by her ordeal, it was a wiser and more wary Nanamo who reclaimed the throne. And back to Revenant's Toll, sure. Hi, Elian.
There you are, Rouja. Higiri told me of your pilgrimage. I knew it was only a matter of time before you sought me out. I too have been reflecting on the choices which shaped my path. When I took to the road with my grandfather, when I joined the Crystal Braves, when I tried and failed to warn you before the banquet. I had my suspicions about Wilred's death, that it was the work of a Garlean spy within our ranks, but I could not be sure who was involved, hence my desire to speak with you in private. I thought long and hard about how to approach you without arousing suspicion. Maybe too long. Eventually, I decided to arrange a meeting through Mistress Momodi. Little did I know that the bastard Laurentius had seen me do it. Shortly thereafter, the fourth received urgent summons. Needless to say, I had no choice but to answer, and soon found myself at the mercy of Captain Ilberd's band of traitors. They confined me to the Rising Stones along with the others still loyal to the Scions. Real, FME, Aergmis. Quite what they planned to do with us, I couldn't say. Maybe they thought we would turn, given time. The fools. Excuse me. Lieutenant Yuhase bid the Third keep us under constant guard, and when Captain Ilberd moved to carry out General Raubon's execution, they were forced to withdraw all but a token force, which we took by surprise one night, and then it was over. One might argue that it turned out better than it had any right to, all things considered. Still, there are nights when I lie awake wondering if I'd done things differently, if I'd been more careful or more decisive, what then? But there's naught to be gained from thinking thus. We must count our blessings, must we not? We are all still here, and most of what was broken can be rebuilt. You will see, Ruja. You will see.
For the freedom of all. It had begun with an oath and ended with a betrayal, as the conspirators turned on their comrades for coin and country. The good and true were beaten and imprisoned or else butchered where they stood. But even in their darkest moments, they never stopped believing that the dawn's light would shine again. Back we go. Hang on, I need to fill up my water bottle. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Whoop. God, it's so fucking loud in here.
Why, hello there, Ruja. Fancy meeting you here.
Well, it is extremely loud.
I know, right?
Reminiscing about the glory days, eh? Aye. We spent many a sleepless nights hammering away at the corner of the palace. How's your mana cutter holding up, by the way?
It's good.
Ah, that's good to hear. Not that I had any doubts, but now craftsmanship second to none.
Quite right. It will take more than a swirling winds and raging dragons to bring her down. And that, my friend, is an ironworks guarantee.
Speaking of which, on the back of the field's test, on the back of the field's test success, we gone ahead and licensed the design for mass production. Soon the Scoutskill manufacturer will be churning out the mana cutters by the dozen. Which is why we're here today, as a matter of fact, to make sure their machinists don't bug anything up.
Apparently, adventurers have been queuing up to place an order, and even some sky pirates. Ah, just imagining the sea of clouds teeming with our creation fills me with a father's pride.
Right then, if that's enough patting ourselves on the back, we gotta make sure the cutters are up to snuff, or Jesse will never let us hear the end of it. For now till we finish, there's no more breaks, distractions, and not one wink of sleep. You hear me?
No. Cart chocobo. I'm sleeping deprived.
Nope. You do it. Till next time, eh?
Bye-bye. Despite the many hardships they had endured, or perhaps because of them, they greeted every new challenge with a smile. Their workshop, their battlefield, their tools, their weapons, they invariably rose to the occasion, delivering ingenious solutions to seemingly insoluble problems. And now to the Choining Mists.
We'll never get
Oh,
tired
okay,
of
yeah,
it.
sure. We have to go all the fucking way there for some reason.
What I would give for them to redesign Heavensward areas to actually better place Aetherites or place new ones, because
God.
why? Why do we
For
have to
real.
suffer through this?
Oh God, I hate it. I will. This is like I said. I have my complaints with Heavensward, and I'm willing to concede a number of things about my opinions on them and stuff like that. But like, oh God, this is the one thing that I will not ever back down on. That these areas are the worst in the entire game to navigate.
I don't think anybody's ever going to disagree with you on that one.
You
They're
never know.
miserable to navigate.
Yeah. Alright. Through tempestuous winds they carved a path, breaching the dread worm's sanctum, and there did they put him to the sword. Yet in the wake of hard-fought victory were secrets laid bare in a vision dark and disturbing. Legacies of the fathers, bequeathed to their sons and passed down through generations, old blood enduring in the new, the mark of original sin. Oh man, this next series of fucking quest things is insane. Alright, back to Ishgard again. And then we go to Oxzundu, and then we go to Gridania, and then we go to Idleshire. God. Alright. Hello, Hilda.
You took Hilda before, yes?
I did, yes. And you were the other two guys if they pipe up. And there she is at last. Gilbrot said you were wandering all over, reminiscing about days gone by. Seems a bit soon, if you ask me. Not like I don't understand, though. Some days I'll be walking through the broom, same as normal, it'll hit me all of a sudden just how much has changed for us. Though I know it's a bit different from what you've been through.
Puts me in the mind of the first time I saw her and her friends up near the Aetherite. Why did it become southern? Being shown around by Heavensward Tempsman. By that Heavensward Tempsman.
Oh, never told me you met before.
They weren't so much as a meeting as a heckling, to be honest. But I heard their guide warning them off paying a visit to the broom. It's stuck in my craw. And, excuse me, I've got to admit that Master Alpha knows the spitting image of a snotty little lordling.
I love the phrase "stuck in my craw." I don't know why. There's just something about it that I just like so much.
It is a pretty good phrase.
The lordling that went on to fight 2 knights of Heavensward with Thrusia here in a trial by combat. Not to mention helping retake the vault from true brothers. Fury have mercy, it feels like a bleeding lifetime ago, don't it?
Because it was. Now, we've got... what we've got now is nothing like what came before. It's a bleeding rebirth is what it is.
Cold comfort to the folk who died getting us here. Still, this peace is ours, and we owe it to ourselves to make the most of it. Meaning we've got to work twice as hard to make the broom a better place. And no more harassing blue bloods neither.
Aye aye. Aye aye.
A world apart from the opulence of the pillars, they had toiled, shrouded in the haze of the broom. Sentenced to a life of hardship by birth, they dreamed of a revolution as children dream of fairies. Then one came and went, and they suddenly found themselves with a seat at the table.
Sorry, I was thinking about my food.
No worries.
Ah. Ha 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 ha! This goes to show that you can't judge a man by appearances, eh? Nor tell what fate's got in store for you. All the more reason to watch your words when you're in your cups.
I know you got Charlebert in the end, but I'm a little bitter it wasn't me. Gave me a reason to practice my marksmanship, though.
Perhaps it's time to the watch expanded its duties. Maybe help out with reconstruction efforts. You mean you just been sitting here the entire time?
At least when we pop by. Alright, let's talk to Laniet. And then, to Oxundu. Oh god, we're so close to the end. I can feel it. Whoop. I'm probably just going to teleport to Oxundu. I don't feel like flying all that way.
The amount of quests in this area that make you go all the way to the far east side of the map, and the two teleports being just north and south from each other on the opposite side of that place.
God, yeah.
It's
Ugh.
awful.
Awful. Ah, Mistress Ruja, always a pleasure. Francel has told me all. His is a tremendous task indeed to rebuild the firmament, but I doubt not that he will succeed. Despite what some may say of my little brother, I know better than any that he is possessed of a great fortitude. Nonetheless, I would be grateful if one such as you were to keep a watchful eye over him. And so we did. I can take this one just because Laniat was a redo. Oh, clouds part and let shine brilliant sun upon Lonu Vanu. Great Netherling warrior returns to Oxundu and on pilgrimage of remembrance. Well, well, we bid you warmest welcome, slayer of false gods and champion of fallen Gundu, whose fledgling village continues to grow and prosper, now free of the shadow of Vundu oppression. But Lonu Vanu is not one to forget Netherling's first coming, when she saves us from certain death at the hands of the Black Ones, distant memory though it is. Yes, her many deeds are the stuff of legends. We shall remember the stories and the hero's name, Ruja Lorelei, for they are worthy of celebration now and ever after. An earnest, good-natured people, they had borne witness to the rage of their beloved god's twisted manifestation, and proclaimed it to be false. By the grace of kind travelers were they duly delivered from its wrath, the mad god's death signaling the birth of a new hero. If it pleases Netherling, you are welcome to partake of fresh Wamora Kampai before parting. Tender, supple flesh gives way to sticky... no? Then as raging typhoon strips fields bare, Lonu Vanu shall devour all. And then we go to fucking Gridania.
When they said retrace our steps, they meant really retrace our steps.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Yamitra.
Well met, Ruja. What brings you here this night?
Oh, you know. Remember that one time you were involved in the main story?
Indeed, though it seems an age, it was all not that long ago that we rescued Stola from the livestream. How quickly we begin to forget even those memories most precious to us. In my defense, I might add that I've have rarely missed an opportunity to make new memories with my sister in the days since her return. Our conversations are largely on matters of scientific and professional concern. Ancient Alcan technologies, Ramels, Asians, and so forth. She has an insatiable thirst for knowledge, as you know. Yet while I understand her desire not to burden those around her with her troubles, and to carry on as she did before, I do worry that her willingness to manipulate her own ether to compensate for the loss of her sight may have dire repercussions. She never told you then. But of course not. She'd rather have defeated the purpose.
I forgot that we fucking learned this from a side quest.
That's where we learn it from?
Yes. I mean, it's like, it's talked about in main story, but like, our character specifically learns this from a side quest.
That's messed up.
Yeah. And then they forgot that they said that.
One of these days, it's just gonna randomly start kicking in, and everyone's gonna be like, "Sound the alarms! It's happening!"
Yeah, she's just gonna fall over. Die.
You should know that the technique she employs places a tremendous strain on her body. She is, of course, well aware of her limits, and more than willing to ignore them should she deem it necessary. I pray you see that she does not.
Look.
Regrettably, she is wont to ignore my advice when it does not suit her. Yet, given your shared experiences, mayhap she will be more than willing to heed your warnings.
Her sister was under no illusions as to the dangers of the life she had chosen. Should the worst come to the worst, Y'shtola would do what needed to be done, pay any price, make any sacrifice, and that without hesitation. She was a woman of conviction, deserving of respect and admiration, and no small amount of worry.
What was the spell that she constantly, that she used up her in the live stream?
It was the teleport spell that she, like, cast on her and Thancred. I don't think it had a specific name.
Yeah. Just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Alas, my studies of Algan technology have not yielded any earth-shattering revelations of late. Rest assured, however, that I will inform Tataru immediately should that unhappy state of affairs chance to change. The spell was called Flow? I thought it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, it did have a name. Never mind. I don't remember.
We're almost there, OPG. We're almost there.
Yep. Hang on, before we turn this in, I'm actually going to do one... Actually, did I do that already? Maybe I did. Hang on, let me double check something. Sorry.
Taku, I saw the thing you just sent. I'll watch it now.
Okay, there we go. Hopefully that should be my last break, and we should be able to just get to this, to the end. Why must governing Great Gabi Nation be so difficult? Like herding curls, stupid curls with muchly different viewing on glorious nation's future direction. Yes, Slowfix knows he's letting emotion run wild. Uplander is welcome voice of reason. Not like when Uplanders first returned to Eildashire, yes? So much venom in that one's tongue flaps, calling Gabi flock thieves, but Slowfix saw a way to mutual understanding. Citizenship in society, first step in strengthening communal ties, gives all vested interest in continuing prosperity of egalitarian utopia. For the final objective, actually I'm not reading that, it's not actually part of the thing. The burdens we bear. Slowfix is a goblin beset by troubles great and small. And now, Slowfix bid Uplander fulfill civic duty as citizen of Idleshire with hand-lending of great import. In cave south of settlement lives Old Crone, wielder of powerful magics used to crafty make frogmen that chase away curious gobbies. Uplander has made many busy deals with Old Crone, yes? Then Uplander can appeal to Crone's better nature and make her call off frogman harriers. Gobbyflock does not go looking for trouble, trouble comes looking for Gobbyflock. Honest. I don't think I'm going to be able to successfully reason with Matoya. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't think anyone can successfully reason with her.
Yep, and now it's time for my favorite part of flying around this area. The no aetherite zone.
Who thought that this was okay?
I don't know. Oh well. Ugh. Are there any other people we haven't really talked to yet? No, I think that's everybody, actually.
The only characters I can think of are those related to the Alexander raids and that little setup area over there.
Yeah, but honestly, we've
But
mostly...
but yeah, but you just skip past them in the story. You go straight to Idleshire, I believe, right? So
Yeah. Plus, if they had updated dialogue for, like,
it would be for the Alexander series, not the
yes,
not
and
the-
I
not
probably
the-
would have done those already. So,
Honestly, if something's missed, fine.
Yeah,
Who cares?
whatever.
This area sucks. This
Yes.
is
Hello, young
actually the
lady.
worst. This is actually no, it's not worse than the Sea of Clouds because it's smaller, but it's still bad.
yeah. Hi, Matoya.
Okay, old crone voice. Here we go. Well, it is a pleasant surprise. I'm well aware that you're the only one here because you want something, but at least you didn't bring your little friends. So out with it. Oh, is that what the goblins told you? That my servants were attacking their poor, defenseless scouts without the slightest provocation? The little buggers are trying to eat them! You're lucky I didn't have my Bragos return the favor. You could tell them for me that if they tried again, I will personally feed them to my servants one limb at a time. I do hope you didn't come all this way just to play little errand girl for those dirty little scoundrels.
Nah, I'm on a journey of self-discovery or something.
Aren't you a bit young to be going on grand journeys of reflection? You haven't lived long enough to have so many regrets.
I'm a Vieira. I'm pretty old.
The same goes for that boy, complaining that things hadn't unfolded as he dreamed they would. Makes no difference what should have happened to Minfilia. What matters is what did happen. The past is the past, and no amount of wishing you'd done things differently will make it so. You make your choices, and you do what needs to be done. That's it. That's the attitude you came here with the first time, and when you wanted to find a way to get to As's Law, and you do well to remember it. Right then, I think you've wasted quite enough of my time. It's bad enough I have to suffer Stola's unannounced visits. I don't need you making a habit of it too.
She was the sum of everything that had come before. Triumphs, failures, all essential, all indispensable. Had things unfolded differently, so too would she. What use, then, to mourn the woman who never was? There was only this time, this place, this choice.
You're having an internal monologue, aren't you?
Yes. Leave me alone.
Mayhap if I hung a sign around here, mayhap if I hung a sign around their necks saying Goblin Eater in big red letters, they'd think twice.
You'd have to type Gobby Eater, but probably. Alright. Only a few more objectives.
Oh, no.
Hooray! As is law! Everyone's favorite!
There's literally only one area in Heavensward I don't mind, and it's the Dravanian of Homelands. Like, if it was bigger, I'd have a problem with it. It's just lucky that it's smaller in size compared to some of these other areas.
Spy something on the ground at the landing's edge. A blue bouquet.
A Boquet?
Boqual? So fucking loud. A bouquet of fresh Nymea lilies lies at your feet. An offering for the departed. Thousand fires blossomed around her as she fell towards the battleship, a crimson star shower amidst the impassive clouds. Then came the azure light, faint at first, soon blinding, then shattering, casting motes of diamond to the four winds. And now we talk to Tiamat, the character that I cannot fucking believe how long it takes for us to do another thing with.
It really is a crime how long it takes.
Alright, here's my... There we go. Oh, sorry, Okay, there we go, Jesus. Child of man, chosen of Heidelin, naught remains for thee here save the delusions of the condemned. In my madness did I spy my departed brood-brother in yonder skies, though I know it cannot be so. I did kill that guy! What sayest thou? My censors are yet mine own. Then he whom I saw was but my dead brother's rancor clad in mortal flesh. Yeah. And thou didst deliver him unto a death's cold embrace. I bear thee no ill will, child, 'tis beyond me. All my hatreds are bound up in moments ephemeral and eternal. My beloved's passing, and his resurrection. I am no better than Nidhogg. Consumed by love, twisted by rage, I too sought vengeance without end. Oh, hey, man.
Yet thou hast since renounced it, hast thou not?
Though through millennia I have watched as time did that which I could not, as the men of Alag perished and their works fell to ruin, leaving me to think on mine own sins in solitude. What folly to despise man despite his base desires, when hatred's hand so effortlessly drove me to take Ascian reed.
Then look thou on him again, with eyes unclouded, and mark how he laboureth to rise above his nature, how he and Racefelger's brood now raise their voices in a shared song of peace. 'Tis my dearest hope that it shall prove the founding stone full of bulwark against the dark.
As time delivered a lag into its reward, so too will it prove this peace true or fleeting, as I remain here apart and watch. Chosen of Heidelin, it is well that thou camest to me in contemplation, but the road stretchest ever on, and thy battle is not yet won. Perhaps there was hope for them. Perhaps this time they would learn and remember. But her part in the tale had ended long ago, within this monument to hubris which she remained till the end of days, beyond redemption. Alright, and now we go up to the Etherochemical Research Facility, because of course we do. Up, there we go.
thought that these areas were fine!
Classic. The Undying Ones were defiant, disbelieving even as death embraced them. Then the knights too succumbed, loyal to the last, to a cause long lost. His body growing light, the Archbishop looked upon the arbiter of his fate and knew not what he saw. And then it was over. Naught remained save the eyes. Thinking to bear them away from the covetous hands of man, Estinian took the accursed baubles in his own and was duly bent to their will, if only for a time. At a friend's behest, had they embarked upon their journeys, and so, after their triumphant homecoming and all the pomp and circumstance, there was but one way it could end. And now we pay respects to a friend, which is, we go to, Harsherfall's grave. Which is, as we learned from the guy at Camp Dragonhead earlier, just north of Camp Dragonhead.
I'll be where he's buried, but that spot sure is significant for him.
Fuck, it's windy up here. It fucking windy. And hey, look who it is. Hello again, old friend. So you'd visit him still. He would be glad. And with that, we have learned the Ellison joy emote that all Ellison can do, but now we can do it too. And there we go. We've done it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to end stream for today. So, all that remains really to say is, Scoos, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It was
I'm
a
so
pleasure to
glad
come
we were
back.
able to get you on the show once again, and I hope to continue to do so.
I very much hope so too. Especially with my schedule freeing up very, very soon.
Yeah. Just a quick heads up on my end here. Chances are I will not be streaming this time next week, Thursday. Next Thursday, that is, because I have a dentiste appointment to go to. However, as a way to kind of make up for that, the following day, the 15th, the Friday, I will be streaming because it is, and let me double check the exact thing. I know I've got the day correct, but I don't remember how long exactly. It will be the 4th anniversary of the A Realm Reread series.
Oh, it's been that long already.
It has indeed. One of our years we had or one of the anniversaries was during the break period in between A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, but it's been another 4 years. It's been 4 years, folks. It's been 4 years. Let that sink in. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, I am going to go deal with
my oven that Otaku has so effortlessly heard going off in the background, because I am hungry and I need food. So once again, Scoosh, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.
Yes. Bye bye.